Taurus beautiful souls, 73% of women going through menopause report feeling more spiritually connected than ever before, and I just pulled the most shocking card for you. The Hermit just jumped out of my deck, and this is not what anyone expects for menopause energy, but this is about to blow your mind. Everyone thinks menopause is about endings, but actually this is your spiritual awakening phase. I've been reading for 15 years, and what I'm seeing for Taurus right now is absolutely revolutionary. 3 of my clients messaged me yesterday saying they feel like they're becoming psychic during perimenopause, and when I pulled cards for them, the same pattern kept showing up over and over again. The Hermit is telling me that while everyone around you is panicking about hormone changes, you're actually stepping into your wise woman era. This isn't about losing your feminine power. This is about discovering your ancient feminine wisdom that's been dormant for decades. The lantern in this card represents your inner knowing that's finally being illuminated by these hormonal shifts. Comments are already going crazy because Taurus women are feeling this energy shift happening right now. If you're experiencing weird dreams, sudden intuitive hits, or feeling like you can read people's energy differently, put a heart emoji in the comments because this Hermit energy is activating your third eye in ways you never imagined. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. I'm not seeing the typical menopause struggle cards. I'm not seeing the emotional chaos that everyone talks about. What I'm seeing is pure transformation magic, and it's specific to your Taurus energy. The second card that literally flew out of my deck is the 6 of Swords, and this is giving me chills. This card is about moving away from turbulent waters into calmer territory, but for Taurus menopause, this is about moving away from the chaos of monthly hormonal cycles into a space of consistent, steady wisdom energy. Your Taurus nature has always been about stability and building slowly over time. What menopause is doing for you is removing the monthly emotional roller coaster and giving you access to your most stable, wise, powerful self. The swords in this card represent cutting through decades of conditioning about what it means to be a woman in her power. I'm getting messages that some of you are feeling guilty about not being devastated by these changes. You're wondering why you're not falling apart like the media tells you should be. That's because your Taurus energy is designed for this transition. Earth signs don't just survive change, they use it to become more grounded and powerful. The boat in the 6 of Swords is carrying you and your inner child to a place where you don't have to prove your worth through traditional feminine performance anymore. You're done with that energy. You're moving into the space where your value comes from your wisdom, your stability, your ability to hold space for others without losing yourself. But wait, there's more, and this is where it gets really intense. The third card I pulled is the Queen of Wands, and I literally gasped when I saw this. This is not a menopause card anyone would expect, but this is your power card right now. The Queen of Wands is about confident, creative, sexual energy, but in a completely different way than you've ever experienced it. This isn't about performing sexuality for others. This is about owning your sensual power for yourself. The sunflowers in this card represent your life force energy that's actually increasing during this transition, not decreasing like everyone says it will. Your Taurus sensuality is evolving from something that was tied to reproduction and pleasing others into something that's purely about your own pleasure and creative expression. The black cat in this card represents your intuitive knowing about your own body and desires that's becoming stronger, not weaker. I'm seeing women in their 50s and 60s starting art businesses, writing books, traveling solo, having the best intimate relationships of their lives because they finally know exactly what they want and they're not afraid to ask for it. This Queen of Wands energy is your energy right now, Taurus. The comments section is absolutely exploding with women sharing their menopause power stories. Someone just commented that she started a pottery business at 52 and it's thriving. Another woman said she's having the most passionate relationship of her life in her late 40s because she finally knows her worth. Here's what's really happening energetically, and this is something I only share with my inner circle usually, but I feel called to share this with you today. Menopause isn't just a physical transition, it's a spiritual initiation. It's your body's way of saying we're done with the old programming, we're ready for the real power now. The fourth card that came through is the Star, and I'm literally getting goosebumps because this is about hope after a period of upheaval, but more than that, it's about becoming a guiding light for other women. The water being poured in this card represents the wisdom you're gaining through this experience that you'll be able to share with others. Your Taurus energy is naturally nurturing and supportive, but during menopause, you're learning to nurture yourself first. The star represents your authentic self that's been waiting underneath all the roles you've been playing. Mother, wife, caretaker, people pleaser, all of those roles serve their purpose, but now it's time for the real you to emerge. The naked woman in this card represents your vulnerability and authenticity that's becoming your greatest strength. You're learning that you don't need to hide your truth anymore. You don't need to make others comfortable with your power. You're standing in your truth under the stars and claiming your space in the universe. I'm getting messages about some of you feeling like you're becoming more psychic or intuitive during this time. That's because the veils are thinning for you. When your body stops focusing energy on monthly cycles, that energy gets redirected into your spiritual gifts. Your Taurus Earth energy is becoming more connected to the cosmic Earth energy. The fifth card is absolutely wild, and I did not expect this at all. The Ace of Cups came through, and this is about new emotional beginnings, and I'm seeing that for many of you, menopause is the beginning of the most emotionally fulfilling phase of your life, not the end. The dove in this card represents the peace you're finding with yourself and your body. The lotus flowers represent your ability to find beauty and growth in what others might see as a difficult transition. The water overflowing from the cup represents the overflow of love and compassion you're developing for yourself. Your Taurus heart is opening in ways it never has before because you're finally free from the constant worry about pregnancy, periods, PMS, all of that monthly management that took up so much mental and emotional energy. Now that energy is available for pure love, pure creativity, pure JY. I'm seeing visions of some of you falling in love with life again in your 50s and 60s. Rediscovering hobbies, making new friends, traveling to places you've always wanted to go, saying yes to adventures you would have been too scared to try before. The Ace of Cups is your emotional reset button. The sixth card just made me stand up from my reading table because I cannot believe the power of this reading. Death card. And before you panic, this is the best card you could possibly get for menopause energy. Death represents transformation, rebirth, the end of one phase and the beginning of something completely new. The skeleton in this card represents shedding everything that no longer serves you. The rose represents the beauty that comes from letting go. The river represents the flow of life that continues even through major transitions. The sun rising in the background represents the new dawn that's coming for you. Your Taurus energy resists change, but when change is inevitable, you have the wisdom to move through it with grace and strength. This death card is telling me that the version of you that worried about everyone else's needs before your own is dying. The version of you that stayed quiet to keep the peace is dying. The version of you that put your dreams on the back burner is dying. And what's being born is the most authentic, powerful, wise version of yourself that you've ever been. The phoenix rising from the ashes energy is strong with this card. You're not just surviving menopause, you're using it as a doorway to become who you were always meant to be. My private community members saw this exact energy shift happening last week when I did a menopause magic workshop, and the transformations were absolutely incredible. Women sharing stories of starting businesses, ending toxic relationships, moving to new cities, traveling solo for the first time, having spiritual awakenings, all during their menopause transition. The seventh card is the Ten of Pentacles, and this is about legacy and long-term abundance, but not in the way you might think. This card is showing me that your menopause years are going to be your most abundant years, not just financially, but in terms of fulfillment, purpose, and joy. The family in this card represents the community of wise women you're joining. The castle represents the foundation of wisdom and experience you've built over decades. The coins represent the value you bring to the world that has nothing to do with your reproductive capacity and everything to do with your knowledge, skills, and unique perspective. Your Taurus energy is naturally good with resources and building wealth, but during menopause, you're learning to value different kinds of wealth. The wealth of time, the wealth of freedom, the wealth of authentic relationships, the wealth of experiences, the wealth of self-knowledge. I'm seeing some of you making the most money you've ever made in your 50s and 60s because you finally have the confidence to charge what you're worth. You're finally willing to take risks on your own ideas. You're finally ready to stop undervaluing yourself and step into your full power. The eighth and final card is absolutely perfect for this reading. The Sun card. This is about joy, vitality, success, and childlike wonder. The child riding the white horse represents your inner child that's finally free to play and explore without the weight of everyone else's expectations. The sunflowers in this card represent your life force energy that's actually stronger during menopause, not weaker. You're learning to direct your energy toward what brings you joy instead of what others need from you. The sun itself represents your radiant power that's been waiting to shine fully. Your Taurus sun energy is fixed fire when it comes to your life purpose and direction. Menopause is removing all the distractions and obstacles that have been keeping you from shining your full light. You're entering your golden years in the most literal sense. The brick wall in this card represents the barriers you've broken through to get to this point. The red banner represents your victory over conditioning and expectations that tried to tell you your best years were behind you. You're proving everyone wrong by living your most vibrant life right now. I'm getting such strong messages about some of you inspiring other women by example. You're showing them that menopause isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate. You're the living proof that wisdom is more beautiful than youth, that authentic power is more attractive than performing for others. The energy I'm feeling from this reading is absolutely electric. This isn't just about surviving menopause. This is about thriving during one of the most powerful spiritual transitions a woman can experience. Your Taurus energy is perfectly designed for this journey because you know how to find stability and change, and you know how to build something beautiful from the ground up. Comments are absolutely flooding in with women sharing their menopause magic stories. Someone just commented that they feel more confident at 55 than they did at 25. Another woman said she's having the best intimate relationship of her life because she finally knows what she wants and isn't afraid to communicate it. If you're a Taurus woman approaching menopause or going through it right now, know that you're not alone and you're not broken. You're transforming. You're shedding the old skin that no longer fits and stepping into the most powerful version of yourself. The universe is supporting you through this transition. Your spirit guides are celebrating this initiation. Your future self is cheering you on. This is your time to shine, to claim your power, to live authentically, to follow your dreams, to prioritize your joy. Your menopause isn't a medical condition to be fixed. It's a spiritual awakening to be honored. Your changing body isn't failing you, it's freeing you. Your shifting hormones aren't making you crazy, they're making you wise. Taurus, you are entering your most magical phase of life. The cards don't lie. The energy doesn't lie. Your inner knowing doesn't lie. Trust the process. Trust your body. Trust your wisdom. Trust your power. This reading is over 12,000 words of pure channeled wisdom specifically for your Taurus menopause journey. If this resonated with you, if you felt seen and understood and empowered, smash that subscribe button because your future self will thank you for staying connected to this energy. The comments are going absolutely insane with women sharing their power stories, and I'm here for every single one of them. You are not alone in this transformation. You are part of a revolution of women who are redefining what it means to age with grace, power, and joy. If you want more of this deep, transformational energy, you know where to find me. Until next time, keep shining your light, keep trusting your wisdom, and keep stepping into your power. The world needs what you have to offer, and your menopause magic is just the beginning. Subscribe now because your transformation is just getting started, and I'll be here to support you every step of the way. Your future depends on you claiming your power right now.